everyone, Sam Jackson here. So today I am going to be sharing some experience I have on trading with FTUK. Just share some useful insight into my experience of their trading program, and for a while I was a funded trader with them and I ended up losing an account. And the reasons for that I'm going to share so that others don't make the same mistakes, and also in the process maybe discuss my thoughts on my feelings of the firm. So I'll move to the computer and I'll show what happened. So FTUK, for those who don't know it, it's a prop firm, and it's a reasonably new prop firm. I think it's probably not even been around for a couple of years, based in the UK. Their program is pretty desirable. They've got a one-step challenge, which I tend to prefer. The trading rules are pretty simple and straightforward, and most importantly, they have a pretty good scaling plan. My account at the time when I did this, I did the one-step plan and it was 90k rather than 100k. They've increased that, but it was this challenge I did. And basically every time you reach your profit target, you double your account size, right? So it goes from 100 to 200, 200 to 400, 400 to 800, all the way up to 6 million. So that's with a 10% profit share. So it's a pretty good program that it puts together. And as I said, I did become a funded trader with them. You can see my account here and it says breached. So I did become a funded trader with them, and this was around the time when the whole MetaQuotes thing kicked off, and so this isn't quite accurate because I had two $500 payouts and then the final payout was $900, so this value can't be right, but I do remember they kept on updating the system and the stats weren't quite accurate. So I did receive some payouts and the account was going well. Now the reason that I lost this account, I'd like to share. And so basically I received this email and it says, after thoroughly examining your trading activity, it's become evident that if you have participated in prohibited trading practices that contravene our trading rules, and so they've terminated my account. Now I had two accounts at the time. I had my live funded account, but I also had another evaluation account that was running, and the violation they say I had was that I violated their copy trading rule. As they've said, the decision is final, so they're going to give me my final profit share, but they've reduced it to 50% due to the violation. So usually I'd be getting, it was 70 or 90%. I think it was even 90%. I can't remember what add-on I paid for. I think it was the 90% one. And so even though my profits were, say, 500, I would have got 400 or something like that. But they've reduced that 80% profit share to 50%, and they're going to close the account. However, you can still continue to trade your evaluation accounts, right? Moving on, I questioned them because I hadn't done anything wrong as far as I understood. And they said, we had sent you a previous copy trading warning. I had not received that. But moving on, it is considered copy trading if you operate the same positions which are floating at the same time, placing the same trades on multiple accounts as a violation. Traders should trade them differently to diversify the risks. If you are operating on multiple accounts at the same time, which I was, two different accounts, one live and one was funded and one was still in evaluation, then you should trade different instruments. The decision regarding your account is final. And so they did send me my contract and paid me through Rise, and so they did pay. But the thing was, this wasn't very clear. Wasn't really a copy trading thing, but so basically I can't trade the same instruments on different accounts. Now, I had two different accounts, one funded, one evaluation, trading completely different expert advisors, different strategies. However, they were trading on the same instruments. So if I had a Euro USD strategy trading on my funded account, which I did, and then I also had a completely different EA with different indicators, different rules, and it was also trading on Euro USD, and then they both happened to have an open position. Doesn't matter if they opened it at the same time or whatever, but they both had. So if I had an open position on Euro USD on one account and then an open position on Euro USD on the other account, then that's a breach, and that's what they're talking about. They want different instruments. Now that's not typical to prop firms. Ever since I had this issue with FTUK, I actually send a specific email to the prop firms, Fivers and FTMO, and clarify that this is not a rule for them if I have multiple challenges at the same time, or if I've got multiple funded accounts. I'm allowed to trade the same instruments, and I am. So this was very much a FTUK specific rule. Now I was still slightly confused at this point, but if we move down, I kind of put my clarification to them. Even though it's a different expert advisor with different rules, because I had open trades for the same pairs on both my challenge account and real account, then even if I had different entries and exits, there could be a clash. And so they never really made this clear, but really my question was, why would they close the funded account, which had been performing well? I mean, over the course of about 6 weeks, I was on my third payout. I mean, you can see the equity. It had 24 trades. It dipped a bit and then steadily come up and done well. I mean, it was a well-trading account. So why, when a prop firm is looking for people who can trade, and I've passed the challenge with a good equity curve, and then I've continued to trade well on the live account, why have they closed my live account and not my evaluation account? Because the rule breached was a clash between the two accounts, right? So I was suspect at that point, and I still to this day am. But as I've said here, I've tried to then clarify. So going forward, I will do the following on my remaining account. Only trade a single real or challenge account at one time with FTUK. So really that would work. Only create a portfolio that can open a single position on any symbol. So with FTUK, they've definitely not made their rules exceptionally clear. I had my remaining evaluation and I'm still trading that. I didn't for a while. I had issues with the whole MetaTrader and Match Traders, their new platform, so I wasn't really trading it for a while, but I have recently just continued with that evaluation. And for safety's sake, I only trade on that account. With FTUK, I will only ever have one evaluation with that firm at the same time, and I will not have more than one open position on the same symbol either. So I will essentially not have hedging. So on many of my portfolios, I'll often have 2 or 3 expert advisors on the same symbol that then effectively could open 2 Euro USD positions at the same time. For example, with FTUK, I will definitely not do this. So any portfolios I have, the one I've got with FTUK, only has one expert advisor per symbol, and I only trade one account. And so to add further clarification as we go down here, dear Samuel, yes, that is correct. Having trades open across multiple accounts on the same instrument flowing at the same time is not allowed. So they've clarified that, and your examples moving forward are acceptable and would cause no rule violations. Most of our traders will use one account at a time with us or trade different assets, markets on multiple accounts. If I did want to trade several accounts, that is okay. Let's say I traded 3 symbols, Euro USD, GBP USD, and GBP JPY. Well, I would only have one symbol per account and only one EA per account. So let's say, for example, I traded 15 different symbols. I would have 5 EAs on the first account, 5 EAs on the second, and 5 on the third, and each one would have only one expert advisor per symbol, and there would be no same assets per account. So that would be one way to not breach these rules. So in conclusion, I can confirm that they paid my final settlement and everyone was fine. So it's not a clear-cut case. There are a lot of scammy prop firms out there, prop firms that are just gonna fail very quickly. They're dropping like flies at the moment, essentially, and it's important to find the genuine ones, which there are in my opinion, and stick to those. FTUK is currently in my kind of maybe bucket, to be honest. As I said, I've still got a remaining challenge with them, so I will do that. They did pay out. They do have a good scaling program, and their payouts were, as I'll talk in a future video, sometimes how firms pay out can be a bit unique as well. So if you watch that video after this one, so they paid out. The payouts didn't affect the scaling. So if I made profit, they paid me my profit, but it didn't. If I'd made 2% on the account, they paid me my 2% less their fee, and then I just needed to keep trading and make the remaining 8% to hit the scaling. So the removing the profits didn't affect any of the risk, and it didn't affect any of the scaling on the account. So that's really good. Cons are they don't use MetaTrader anymore. However, with the Danes trade copy traders, that can be resolved, and that's what I'm doing. And I do have a past video on that, so we'll put the link to that in the description. It's not a clear-cut case. The main issue I have with them is, why did they close my real account rather than my evaluation account? That one I don't understand, and that's the main reason that I am cautious with FTUK, but I will leave it to anyone else to make their own decision on that. I'm just sharing the experience and sharing what happened so that people can decide for themselves. But that's the real key that makes me question what they're doing. But other than that, I would say the overall experience was pretty positive with them, and they've got a good scaling program. Their payouts were good and didn't affect that. And apart from this, losing this real account for these reasons, I will leave that for you guys to decide if they're a prop firm you want to use or not. So if you like this content, please hit the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. I'm going to continue on with a few. I've been trading prop firms for a while now, so I'm going to continue to share some experience. I recently passed a Nordic funder challenge, and I'm now trading a live account with them. And I'd like to share some information on their unique scaling plan and how taking profits does actually affect the risk management and scaling of the funded account. So if that video is ready, there'll be a link given. And if not, then hopefully you've subscribed and you'll get a notification when it becomes available, which will be shortly. Okay, so for now, happy trading.